Hello everyone and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. Thank you all so much for being here, for your continued love and support here on the channel. So today's pick a card reading, we are doing what do you need to see and understand right now? Okay, what do you need to see and understand right now? We do have 3 crystals out here for you all to choose from. For group number 1, we have a Super 7. For group number 2, we have a Desert Rose Selenite. And then for group number 3, we do have Opalite. I am going to be adding in one of these cards to help you guys with choosing, but if you already feel drawn to one of the crystals, you can go ahead and skip right to the timestamp. That'll take you directly to your reading. So what do you need to see and understand right now? Group number 1, what do you need to see and understand right now? Group 2 and group 3. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Group number 1. We have retreat. Let me make sure. Okay. We've got retreat, and that is with the Super 7. What do you need to see and understand right now? Group number 2, we have Astral Ascent, and that is with the Desert Rose Selenite. Group number 3, we have Spirits of Fire, and that is with the Opalite. Okay, so those are the options for today. What do you need to see and understand right now? Group 1 with Retreat and the Super 7. Group 2 with Astral Ascent and the Desert Rose Selenite. Group 3 with Spirits of Fire and the Opalite. Pause the video if you need a little bit more time, and I will see you all at your reading. Hi Group 1, so those of you that resonated with the Retreat card, this is going to be a reading today. So we're asking Spirit, what do you need to see and understand right now? And you have Retreat here, which is often a message that asks us for peace, for solitude, for taking a break, for pausing, for stillness, quiet, alone time. And we're going to get a little bit more into the message with this card, but it could be that your soul is asking for you to just take a break. If you're someone who has been really distracted, away from yourself, a lot of stuff going on in your life, a lot of being super busy working, or even dealing with situations right now that could be confusing, challenging, painful, overwhelming, or if we've been super stressed out, we've got a lot on our mind, this can be asking us to step away. Okay, so this is something that helps us to rebuild that connection with ourself, with our inner voice. And we're going to pull some tarot here, but I think I'm actually, let's actually pull these first. What do you need to see and understand right now? Group number 1, the need for rest. Because sometimes retreating, right, away from work, a relationship, a family situation, anything that's going on in our life can give us a fresh perspective when we can get away from distractions and just have some time to think by ourselves, for ourselves. So let's see, what do you need to see and understand right now? Group number 1. We have fluid wave, and it says adapt and repeat, settle into new roles and change. And let's pull. What do you need to see and understand right now? We have quest, and it says goals, deep shifts, carving out change, and an inner journey. Okay, so here we can see someone that's kind of like walking along the sand. This reminds me a lot of the Hermit energy. Okay. So already, I think I'm actually going to pull 2 of these. Both of these are talking about change. And then we have the sacred cave, and it says spiritual growth, a period of gestation. So again, we've got this energy of resting and introspection. Okay. Look at the water here too, in both of them. Lots of clearing. I'm seeing at the bottom, we've got doors of perception here, choices, opportunities, independence, and illusions. So is it possible that maybe with something that we could be dealing with this time, that there are certain illusions that by the act of taking time to retreat, that we're able to gain clarity, insight, enlightenment. Let's actually use one of these. Somebody donated this deck to the channel. I don't know who it is. There was no note inside of it, but this is the Ancient Stones Oracle. So thank you so much to whoever this is that sent this in. I truly appreciate your kindness and generosity to whoever you are. It was purchased off of my Amazon wish list, but there was no note in it. Group 1. Wow. We have alignment. It says it's coming together and precision. Okay, so let's pull the tarot now. If you look at this little sailboat too, how it's right inside of the wave, and the wave is almost kind of like right on top of it. So this could be where maybe there's something, you know, even with all this water here, maybe there's something emotional, maybe that some of you are needing to process, to work through. Maybe there's emotions that are kind of running high. Maybe a lot that's kind of surfacing for you. Spiritual growth. Group number 1, what do you need to see and understand right now? Look at that, the High Priestess. 3 of Pentacles. The High Priestess is about silence, quiet, going within. Settle into new roles and change. What do you need to see and understand right now? Your higher self is asking you, right, for a retreat. In order for this shift within you to take place, where you are consciously focusing on yourself. We've got the dark veil here. This is the devil. The shadow. We have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is also about cycles and change. The Four of Wands. Some of you quite literally might literally be meant to go to a retreat or to host one, okay, or be a someone who could be offering services at a retreat, okay? Because with this Three of Pentacles here, this is about collaboration. And so the Four of Wands can also be about like people who come together for some kind of party or celebration, maybe even some kind of like reunion of souls. Here we can see how these people are kind of like grouped together in a circle. Okay. I'm seeing the Page of Swords here at the bottom, and she's pointing to her third eye here, but the Page of Swords is about observing. It's about gathering information. Her sword is also pointed directly up towards the sky. So I almost feel like there's information here. The Hangman is right underneath that. The Hangman is about also a card of reflection, a change or shift of perspective. This is helping us with, I feel like for one thing, surrendering to what your higher self is trying to ask of you right now, which is the need for stillness. Because there's information that your higher self is trying to communicate to you. But again, if we're distracted, if we've got all this other stuff going on in our life that we're paying attention to, we might feel a little disconnected from our higher self. And your higher self is trying to get your attention at this time to say, hey, stop. Let's pause. Let's, pull back. The Hangman can be an energy of withdrawing, of surrender. It's where we receive insight, enlightenment, a shift of perspective. We're able to gain perspective perhaps on something by taking a step back. And, the Wheel of Fortune is also about being at a major turning point in our life where many shifts or changes could be taking place. This could be the way in which your higher self is trying to align you to something. Some of you, like I said, you might be quite literally be where your higher self is wanting you to go to a retreat, okay? Some kind of spiritual retreat. Or if you're someone who, has a specific skill set or some type of knowledge or expertise or story that you can share by going to this retreat. And it feels like almost like there's some like downloads here, downloads that of information that you're receiving here, but you need to kind of tune into them. You need to tune into them. And so in order for us to do that, right, we need to connect with our higher self. So with this 10 of Wands, the 10 of Wands can also be, for some of you, where you're under a lot of stress. The 10 of Wands is a very burdensome kind of energy. And here you can see in this card where this woman kind of looks like she's trying to, what do they call that? Like trudging through the water here. And like I said, all of this water energy here, all this blue here, this person is kind of submerging themselves here. So maybe for some of you, there's a lot of emotional release that is needed for healing. The 10 of Wands can be when we're being weighed down energetically by something. The 10 of Wands can also put us a place where we're doing too much. We've done too much. We're tired, we're drained, we're exhausted, we're depleted, at a place of burnout. And when we're really dealing with burnout, it's not a good thing, because your body can shut down. You can sometimes have to be hospitalized because of burnout. You may have been under a lot of stress. Maybe there's a lot of responsibilities or weight that you feel kind of like on your shoulders, a lot that you've been going through, a lot that you've been carrying, a lot that you've been holding on to the point where your higher self is like, hey, we need to stop. We need to work on release. We need to work on letting go. We have the devil showing up, the dark veil in this. I actually feel, where is the box at? I feel like I want to look at what this deck creator, this is the Moonchild Tarot, this is the Shadow Edition, which I still believe is still available for those of you that like this. I want to see what they said about the dark veil. There's the moon. Okay, so it says bondage, entrapment, temptation, ego, oppression. What am I clutching onto that needs to be released? Okay, that 10 of Wands. What inner healing can I now focus on? Okay, it says the dark veil shrouds our destructive human traits from coming to light, and the self-inflicted dependencies that feed our internalized fear, guilt, and shame. This oppressive force can show up in various ways as a habit or attachment that we must eventually learn to break. If we can finally lift its toxic hold on our life and see with new eyes, we can redirect our steps and return to a path of strength. It says the dark veil represents an oppressive force in our life that clouds your judgment and breaks us down. It is a chaotic shadow that obscures our healthiest potential, draining our strength and overall wellness. This could take on the form of a negative relationship, a mental state of entrapment, an unhealthy obsession, or some kind of addiction. It may also indicate a lack of moderation or self-control, and the self-defeating patterns from which we must learn to release ourselves. Yet, despite these frightening setbacks, there is a deeper lesson that emerges from the essence of this key. It illuminates those moments of total reevaluation when we are finally able to step back and reroute our steps. When we literally go through hell and back and know that we are profoundly more resilient because of how far we have been pushed. After this, we are reborn from the ashes of our wounds. This is the ultimate alchemy for growth. When our self-love becomes brighter and more expansive as a result of the shadows that we learn to transmute into new gems of light, these become our beacons in the dark. Okay, so maybe for some of you, there could be what this was just talking about, habits that we have, obsessions, attachments, or maybe even dealing with some kind of toxic relationship. Whether that is the relationship that we have with self, right, where we have self-destructive or even self-sabotaging types of habits, or it's another person in your life, okay, romantic partner, friend, family member, coworker, work environment, and it's weighing on us. Okay? Some of you, it might be what you do for a living. It might be your coworkers. It might be someone that you are collaborating with right now. It could be family, a person you live with, your home environment. Okay? Let's clarify this devil. There's the Hangman again. It feels like your higher self is really wanting you to see something that is this devil energy in your life. There's the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is about deception, betrayal, illusion, mind games, manipulation, a person who's a liar, a cheater. It can also be when the Seven of Swords can also be escapism. Okay? So are we escaping into maybe toxic traits, toxic habits, a toxic attachment? Are we dealing with a person who is a manipulator, a person who does lie, who is sneaky, who is deceptive? Are we lying to ourselves? Are we deceiving ourselves? Are we in or trapped or stuck in some kind of illusion about someone? Some of you, I'm seeing, I can't show this card, but the Two of Cups. Some of you, it's a relationship. Okay? There's the Hermit. Okay? Very similar. Look at that. So, you know, of course, what this is going to be very different for all of you, what that devil is. But with that Seven of Swords, is there something here that you are avoiding? Some of you, it's a husband, a partner, a father. Are we keeping ourselves in an illusion, avoiding seeing the truth about a person? Why is the Seven of Swords here? We've got Strength. We have the Star and the Nine of Swords. So for some of you, it might be a source. This person or this situation that you're dealing with could be something that is a source of anxiety for you. And sometimes we might not even realize how much that person or that situation could be affecting, for some of you, your mental health. Okay. It could be creating a lot of fears within you, a lot of anxiety, a lot of not being able to sleep. And the Star is also about healing. Some of you, there could be a lot of, some of you might have a lot of trust issues, insecurities. If you have been through betrayal trauma, if you've had a person who's played mind games with you, who has deceived you in some way, if there's a lot of fears that you might have, right, about being cheated on, about being lied to, about, you know, even if this has nothing to do, I'll say this, if this has nothing to do, like if you're in another relationship right now, And that is something that's not occurring in this current relationship. And this is something from your past. It's something, again, that's lingering within your energy field. It's a source of insecurities, a source of anxiety, a source of mental stress, fear-based thinking, right? And it's something that needs healing. And sometimes, again, if we're distracted with life and, family and friends and work and money and everything having to do with our 3D life, it's like we're ignoring the things that we have to look at within ourselves. The shadow, right? The devil. Is it making us act out a certain way? Okay. And with the strength card is about having self-control. It is also about impulse control and about being able to nurture yourself. For some of you, this could be something that has affected your self-esteem, that has affected your confidence, that has taken your power away. And with the star being here, the star is healing, it's renewal, it's purification. It is restoring faith. It is restoring trust, especially for those of you that have trust issues. Where, like, if Spirit is trying to bring you towards community, friendships, building healthy relationships with people, but we've got trust issues, right? We fear that people are going to lie, they're going to deceive, they're going to betray, they're going to be sneaky, they're going to be deceptive. And if we're still holding on to that energy, right, and your path, for some of you, it could be something that's leading you towards connections with others, where this is important for your path. How are we going to get there if this is the block that's in the way? So we have to learn to integrate the shadow, understand the shadow, where these fears are coming from, where the insecurities, where the trust issues are coming from, and get to the root of the issue. Some of you, it could be tied into a father wound or a particular masculine energy that you may have dealt with either right now or in your past. Some of you, we got Leo energy here. Leo, Aquarius, Pisces, Capricorn, Virgo. Let's look at this High Priestess. The Empress, right? This is what your higher self is, why the retreat is necessary. The Empress is about healing the feminine energy. It is about self-love. It is a need for nurturing the self, reparenting the self for some of you. Okay, a deep healing within the feminine energy. Ten of Cups. Some of you, this has to do with family. Mother wound. Four of Cups. Some of you, this is something that you're ignoring. There could be self-neglect. Okay, Three of Swords. Three of Swords is pain. Your higher self is saying, we are in pain. We're hurting. There may be a wound here surrounding, I hope this doesn't make me cry. soon as I say that, there may be a wound here around rejection, emotional neglect, abandonment, the fear of rejection, the fear of abandonment, or literally dealing with people who don't reciprocate the love that you give. There's also a need for us to recognize the ways in which you deny yourself love. And that includes having people in your life that don't give back to you, that do not meet your emotional needs, in which we end up betraying ourselves or denying ourselves from what we are worthy of receiving. Okay, the Four of Cups can be a feeling of indifference, boredom, a lack of satisfaction that we feel with something or someone that we could currently be dealing with. The Four of Cups can sometimes be when we're ignoring something or something's a blind spot. We just don't see it. Some of you, there could be some painful thing here that we're not looking at, that needs attention, that needs healing. Again, Queen of Wands energy at the bottom. This is something that has affected your confidence, your power, your self-esteem, your self-worth. Something that has made you feel undeserving, unworthy, unattractive, insecure. For some of you, jealous, envious. It may even lead to, and this goes back into the shadow, it may even lead to attention-seeking types of behaviors, lashing out, anger, resentment, especially if the people that you're dealing with are not giving you the type of attention that you're wanting. This could be seeking validation of the worthiness outside of the self. Okay, so this is very important that you take this time for yourself. Your higher self is like, I'm not going to ask you again. I'm not going to ask you again. I'm hearing that. I'm not going to ask you again. It's like this very persistent, important message that's coming through from your higher self that is crucial to your well-being. And there may be some important decisions here along with that as well, especially for those of you where this toxic energy, or even having a person in your life that brings you down to that level. Okay. I would encourage you guys, for those of you that are open to it, to work with the dark feminine at this time. Okay, work with archetypes of the dark feminine. And some examples of that could be the goddess Hecate, Lilith, Persephone, Medusa. Um, what else? The Morrigan. Those are the ones off the top of my head right now. Work with the Dark Goddess. Kali. Okay. I feel like that would be helpful here for those of you that are open. And if you may, for some of you, you may already be having a feeling of one of these dark goddesses calling to you to work with them. There's a lot of books that they have, whichever one you feel kind of drawn to, or even doing some research on working with the dark feminine archetype. There's a lot of beautiful books that they have on Amazon that could be very helpful with that practice. But I feel like working with the dark feminine right now could be very helpful with this healing. There might be, I'm even getting an energy here of rage. Okay, a lot of anger that most certainly could be kind of bottled up inside for many of you that may have been mistreated by people in the past, or have felt like, you know, there may have been certain people in your past that kind of were your oppressors. Okay, so very important message, I feel, looking at this. Okay, what do you need to see and understand right now is that your higher self is, you know, like I said, your higher self is like, I'm not going to tell you again. This is important. Okay, with alignment, especially over here, it says it's coming together and precision. This is necessary, right? For you to align your energy. We've got the feminine showing up. We were seeing the masculine earlier with the Emperor, but let's actually get a little bit more over here with the alignment. And the way that that voice comes through, right? I'm not going to tell you again. It almost feels like very fierce. Like the dark feminine is speaking. Okay? That's what I get from that. Like the dark feminine within is speaking. And you will listen. You will listen. It's powerful. I know that there's another YouTuber too. I love her. I love watching her. I know she doesn't do readings on her channel, but she does workshops. So those of you that might want to check her out, let me look really quick. I always forget how to. Her name is Racine. Some of you already might know who she is, Racine. And she does have workshops that you can take with her. And then she works a lot with the goddesses. So her channel is Owl Moon 513. You guys have probably seen her. There's just one of them. But yeah, she does a lot of like showing a lot of the decks that she's kind of working with, but I love her. And I have had a reading with her in the past, which she has them available in her Etsy shop. And she did a really beautiful job with doing the reading. So yeah, let's go back to alignment here. But yes, she does offer workshops. I know that she does. I don't know if she has a Patreon or not. But she's very, very knowledgeable. She's been working, you know, with that practice for quite a while. Lots of knowledge. We have the Knight of Swords here. This is clear, focused, brave, confident. We have the Page of Wands. Okay, so look at how in this Page of Wands card here, the Page of Wands is new energy. It is passionate. It is creative. It is embarking on a new journey. It is the excitement, the enthusiasm that we feel. It is that also that interconnectedness that we have with our inner child that beckons us to explore, to dream, to do, to step outside of our comfort zone. And here it almost looks like she is levitating here with all of this energy that's kind of around her. So, I mean, that definitely looks like alignment there. And there's the Lovers. I need to cover that a little bit. The Lovers is alignment. Okay, look at that. The triangle there and the alignment there in that triangle. Okay, so this is, in a way, this is union within the self. Feminine, masculine. You, your higher self. There's also a triangle here with the circle. This almost, I mean, it's not quite, but it kind of reminds me of, what was I going to say? I forgot what it's called. Can't remember right now, but that is most certainly being in alignment. Okay. And that is where your higher self is like trying to get you there, but maybe perhaps growing a little bit impatient because it feels like there's things that you're meant to do. And in order for you to do it, we need to be in alignment. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave this here for you. Group number 1. I do hope this reading was helpful for you all, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 2. So those of you that resonated with the Desert Rose Selenite and the Astral Ascent card, this is going to be your reading. So we're asking Spirit today, what do you need to see and understand right now? So we're going to pull some additional oracle cards and then your tarot. Group number 2, what do you need to see and understand right now? We have reflections of time, and it says surrender, cycles of change, unearthing, and lessons. We're going to hold that one just for a second. I'm going to pull one of these. What do you need to see and understand right now? Group number 2. We have Mama Gaia. I do have to cover up some of this image. But it says success in life cycles and family ahead, harmony, and also beauty in aging. Mama Gaia. Oops. And then we have inner magic here. It says your vibration is rising, power and increased energy. I love this. The astral ascent. This increased energy, power, your vibration is rising. I like this because with the Mama Gaia here, this is, you know, Mother Earth. And it feels that this energy feels very beautiful, very supportive. You know, some of you might feel, or I feel like maybe this could even be asking you to strengthen your connection with Mother Earth, okay? Especially if you right now feel lost, confused, ungrounded at this time. You feel a little disconnected. I feel like strengthening your connection with Mother Earth, which means we're spending time in nature. We're going for walks. We're going hiking. We're spending time by the ocean, lakes, rivers, mountains, forest, anywhere that you can, especially, you know, I know that it's not always possible. Traveling is not always possible for us to get closer to the ocean, or, you know, it could be that mountains are far away. But you can also, you know, create even spaces in the home, if that is something that's not possible for you, where you can surround yourself in your home environment with plants, with flowers, even with things that are, you know, like I have little rocks here, little river rocks, only because I didn't have enough obsidian, because I wanted to use obsidian up there, but I didn't have any, so I used river rocks that I had. But that is also kind of an element, right, of bringing Mother Nature inside. Indoors, I have dried eucalyptus here. But just to be able to surround yourself, even if it's just a little space in your house where you just kind of have like a little meditation corner, or a little area where you can set up an altar, or, you know, you have a plant in your home. But let's keep going here. Let's see. What do you need to see and understand right now? We have the Holy Mountain, soul calling, sacred journey, and pilgrimage. Both of these also have like a very similar feel to them. The Holy Mountain, soul calling, sacred journey. Oh, also, whoever sent this in, thank you so much. This is the Ancient Stones Oracle. This was purchased off of my Amazon wish list, but when it arrived, there was no note in it. So I don't know who sent it, but whoever you are, thank you so much. So let's pull the tarot. Group number 2. What do you need to see and understand right now? Some of you, this could be that you are going through an ascension. You are going through an awakening. You are aligning to a higher vibration. There's probably a lot of healing. Okay, we got the star here, the first card out. A lot of healing. A lot of purification. The Empress, I love this. There's a lot of feminine energy. The Empress is also connection to divine feminine, to Mother Earth. This is Venusian energy, right? Taurus and Libra. But surrounding yourself with beauty, okay? Beautiful things. Like I said, kind of bringing the energy of Earth indoors, especially if you don't live in a place where, I mean, nature is everywhere, but I know sometimes we live in busy, crowded cities and it doesn't feel the same, right? It doesn't feel as restorative. Where certain places are kind of like way overpopulated. There's a bunch of noise and cars and people and crowds. And this could be a time, like I said, for some of you, if you're feeling a little off or, you know, maybe even going through a lot energetically, like what is happening to me? Beautiful things. And it might not feel like that. The process of going through this might not feel quite as beautiful. Let's see. We have the Queen of Wands. It feels like a lot of feminine here. We've got, look at that, Mother Earth, the Empress, the Queen of Wands, the Star, even in that Astral Ascent card there. We have the Hermit. And then we have the Four of Cups here. And the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm with the Four of Cups energy being here. The Four of Cups can sometimes talk about a feeling of indifference, a lack of satisfaction, boredom, kind of feeling checked out. Okay, we might even be in a space of feeling sorry for ourselves. Okay, I am seeing the Six of Swords here at the bottom. The Six of Swords is the rites of passage. It is healing. It is moving towards calmer waters, which essentially is meaning that maybe we could be coming out of a very difficult cycle of our life. So this energy is more about peace and restoration and healing. And with the Hermit being present, the Hermit is about the journey inward. It's about self-discovery, right? We have the Holy Mountain here, which says soul calling, sacred journey, and a pilgrimage. And I feel that your healing here, that there's a lot that's happening around the feminine energy, okay? Now, this could be something that's helping you to feel more attractive, more worthy. This could be a time of nurturing the self, a time of self-love, self-care. It feels like this is trying to help you to shift into a better cycle of your life, experiencing different things in the way truly that you're meant to, because we have success in life cycles and family ahead. So better energy in your life, right, than maybe you have experienced in your past. With the reflections of time, it almost kind of makes me feel like there's, like you're taking time here to reflect upon where you've been, how far you've come, and to also take, I feel like, to take pride in that. Okay? Like I said, a lot of healing here surrounding the feminine energy. So, let's actually look at that astral ascent here and see what else we can get. Now, this is from the Divine Muses oracle here. So, let's see where astral ascent is. There it is. Okay, more about it. Exploration, spiritual journey, independence, and advancement. It says this oracle represents a journey where you reach for the stars. Astral ascent asks you to discover a new reality and forge new travels. Get out of your usual routine and go for it. Do something new and exciting. This is comparable to the explorer archetype, which shows a desire for the freedom to find yourself as you explore the world. The goal is to experience a more authentic and fulfilling life by taking a journey or participating in something that speaks to your soul. It could be in the form of a spiritual journey or a trek to the top of a mountain. That's funny. A trip involving plane travel is also a possibility where you can explore a distant land. Independence and freedom is called for right now as you seek to be true to yourself. Perhaps you want that view from the top, the perspective from high ground, or you have a desire to further explore the possibility that alternate dimensional universes exist. Astral ascent can be a voyage where you explore other realms or astral worlds through the milieu of dreams. Whatever the case may be for you, personal growth and wisdom can be gained through this experience. This card may ask that we recognize where we have made progress. It affirms our ambition, that we are experiencing upward movement, advancement, and development, that we are making headway. It says it's a good time to track your progress and where you want to head next. If this card is referring to a spiritual journey, then find a daily spiritual practice that works for you. Be sure to research the history and background of the practice you're leaning into. And for some of you, I am noticing that there is African ancestry here. So maybe for some of you, this is a call to look into those roots. Okay. If you're interested, find a qualified teacher that you resonate with to further guide you. Perhaps astral travel is something you want to try out. If that sparks interest for you, investigate its potential. Okay, so I'm going to leave this open just in case you guys want to read the rest of it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Okay, so what we want to do, because this card is also talking about, you know, maybe we're feeling unhappy with certain things in our life, right? The Four of Cups, like I said, can be about boredom. So let's actually look at that. We have the Nine of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, so it feels like group 2 that you feel like something's missing from your life. Almost kind of like when we're asking ourselves, is this all there is? The Nine of Cups is about wish fulfillment. So because it's here, right, in a way it's kind of implying that we do not have it. We don't have it. The Five of Pentacles is lack. It can be sometimes a feeling of isolation, of emptiness, of loneliness, feeling that we don't have what we need, our needs are not being met. We seek more fulfillment. Let's see. We do have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Libra, and Aquarius energy here. Four of Pentacles. This feels like a lot of restriction here. Limitations. I feel that some of you might not even know exactly what it is that you're seeking, or what is it that's going to make you feel fulfilled. And so I feel like part of this message here is about you discovering what that is through self-discovery. You know, because the Queen of Wands being here is about passion, it's about creativity, ambition, motivation, the drive, the kind of go out and get it type of mentality. And maybe for some of you, this is building up your confidence in yourself, building up self-esteem. You know, no more procrastination, no more missed opportunities, no more keeping yourself in the comfort zone. You know, holding on to, say, like a job that it's not meeting your needs, or even a relationship that's not meeting your needs. But I feel like there's also, with the Four of Pentacles here, there's a fear of a loss of security, right? Sometimes there could be certain paths that we want to take, certain career paths, but we feel like, well, what if I take that risk and I'm not successful? What if I don't have what I need? What if I can't do it? You know? And so that can certainly be something that blocks us, right, from being able to achieve what goals we have in mind. The Knight of Pentacles is here, which is about long term, thinking about the future, and taking steps with being more purposeful, more intentional in our approach to making sure that we get every single day, we're getting that much closer to what it is, to realizing our dreams, to realizing our potential within the self. So the Seven of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune is about major turning point in our life. It's about changes, going through cycles. So this could even be, do you have a cycle of a repeated pattern where you run from things, where you avoid making changes, where change is difficult for you, you know, scary. And I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune, this is about going with the flow, you know, where we're kind of moving with the way in which that the universe is kind of shifting you. If you're someone who has a lot of ideas, maybe a lot of plans, a lot of thoughts, but sometimes the Seven of Swords can talk about the disorganization, scattered thinking, scattered mind. So this could be a time for, you know, taking the pause so that we can work through, these ideas and these thoughts that we have. Let's see, we've got the Magician. So the Magician is also about having willpower. It's about focused intention and manifestation. So if we have, right, these dreams of what is going to bring fulfillment for us, what is it that we desire? It requires us to step outside of our comfort zone. It requires us to take a leap of faith. It requires us to have the willpower and the confidence to know that you are a co-creator with the universe in this magician energy. But it's about you stepping up into your power and realizing the potential that you have to create the reality that you dream about, that you envision for yourself, that it is possible. We have the Eight of Cups, and we have the Knight of Cups. I feel like this is also the confidence to move away from anything in your life that is no longer bringing you fulfillment. Not just holding on to it because it provides a source of comfort or security for us. Being willing to follow what the heart's desire is. So I feel like your message here, a lot of this is about your continued growth, right? Personal development, continuing to ascend along your spiritual path, your spiritual journey, getting better connected in with your authentic self, being willing to align with this higher version of yourself, to know that you're worthy of it. Okay, I feel like that's a big one. You're worthy of it. What you dream of. Let's just say it's love, or it is the dream job that you have. Okay, some of you might need to spend time in self-discovery, especially if you feel lost right now, or you feel like you know, maybe what you're doing, you want it to feel more purposeful. You're trying to find purpose in your life. We're not going to find the answers outside of ourselves. Right? Looking outside of yourself is not going to get you there. It's taking that time to get to know yourself on a very deep and intimate level. What you love, what you're passionate about, what brings a smile to your face when you think about it, what lights you up. Okay? And I feel like that's where Spirit is kind of wanting you to understand right now, is that you are going through a lot of transformation, a lot of healing, a lot of really stepping up into this more empowered version of yourself. And that does require you to be willing to let go of the old version of you. The Queen of Wands is a very empowered energy. The Empress is a very empowered energy. Okay? And for many of you, like I said, building that connection that you have to Mother Earth is very helpful because it helps us to feel more grounded. Meditating outdoors, going for a walk outdoors, spending time in nature, listening to the birds, the squirrels, whatever kind of little animals you've got, listening to water, right? Especially if you live near a river or, the ocean. Or if you don't, and you take a little vacation and you go to a place that has a natural body of water that you can visit. I know that there's parks everywhere throughout the world. There's many different places that we can go to, or even take like a little drive to, where there's trails and there's, you know, different things where we can get a little closer to nature, even if it's a little bit of a drive, or we take a train or a plane. Or for some of you, like it's super close, you know, to be closer. Nature is everywhere. Okay, nature is everywhere. But I certainly feel like that will be something that will help with this process. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave this here for you, group number 2. I do hope this reading was helpful for you all, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 3. So those of you that resonated with the spirits of fire and the opalite crystal, this is going to be your reading today. And we're asking Spirit, what do you need to see and understand right now? I think this is a salamander. I'm not sure though, but we'll look. So we're going to pull some additional oracle cards first, and then we'll pull your tarot. So group 3, what do you need to see and understand right now? What do you need to see and understand right now, group number 3? We have Earth Walk, and it says reorientation, collective wisdom, and natural healing. And we're actually going to pull one more from this deck. We're going to hold that to the side for a second and grab one of these. What do you need to see and understand right now? We've got Heart of Gold, and it says beating life and selflessness. And we have Hold the Light, Lemuria, Ancient Memories, Sensitive Gifts, and I Remember. This is almost giving me like King of Wands energy, which is about inspiration, inspiring others. I almost feel like, I mean, we've got Hold the Light here, and Earth Walk with reorientation and collective wisdom, natural healing, a Heart of Gold. It almost makes me feel like those of you that chose this group are meant to be helping others, leading others, guiding others, inspiring others, motivating others. Some of you, this might be energy work, okay? Light workers, most certainly I'm getting from this group. I am using this beautiful deck here. This is the Ancient Stones Oracle. Somebody purchased this from my Amazon wish list and did not put a note in there, so I don't know who it's from. But whoever you are, thank you so much for sending this in. I appreciate your kindness and your generosity. What do you need to see and understand right now? Wow. Stone of Destiny. It says life path, ambition, passion. Yes. Wow. Hold the light. Look how she's literally holding the light here. She's shining her light. Ancient memories, Lemuria, sensitive gifts, and I remember. This is about you remembering who you are, group 3. Reorienting yourself with the earth, why you're here, why you came. Collective wisdom, which we all have access to because we're all interconnected, right? 3D thinking is that you are separate from me. We are all one. That is 5D consciousness. So at the bottom, it says not forgotten, messages from spirit, unbroken connection. So sometimes when we're on our spiritual path, and I know because I've gone through this, sometimes you feel like spirit is not there because it's quiet. Because it's quiet, and you know, some of you could have gone through a spiritual awakening where you feel so connected, and then all of a sudden it's silence. Where did everybody go? You know, so some of you, I feel like this is confirmation for some of you, a message that you need to hear, that spirit is right there with you. They've not forgotten about you. They are right there. But like I said, that energy reminds me of King of Wands energy. I think that's a salamander, which I think is actually on the traditional Rider-Waite deck for the King of Wands. I don't know if I can find it right now where it is, but it's a symbol of not only the fire energy, passion, but, you know, leadership, confidence, power. And I'm not sure, I can't remember if it's on the Page of Wands too, but it's not on the Knight. There it is, right there. So, like I said, it's giving me King of Wands energy. But let's pull your tarot. We're not going to use this one, but just wanted you guys to see. Heart of Gold. Beating life and selflessness. Which means that, in a way, I feel like your path is one of service to others. Where you're moving outside of more ego-based, like it's about me, 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 into collective. How can I serve the collective? Especially if you have spent a lot of your life, you know, more on ego's desires and more self-serving. And, you know, I'm doing this for me, I'm doing this for me, I'm doing this for me. Into what can I do to serve the collective? Okay? Because all of you we all have, right, very different life experiences, and we all hold a lot of wisdom. So much wisdom, so much knowledge. And those of you that also, you know, do believe in past lives, You know, you carry the wisdom of your ancestors, you carry the wisdom from your past lives, collective consciousness, right? Collective wisdom. That again, when we really build that connection to our higher self and to the divine, that we have access to that. Okay? So let's see here. What do you need to see and understand right now? The Five of Pentacles. Maybe this is a feeling of like, I'm not ready. I don't have what I need. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not valuable. It may also be any types of behaviors of isolation. Okay, isolating yourself from others. Maybe to the point where it's not good for you. Okay, we have the Hangman here. I mean, sometimes, you know, spending some time alone is a good thing, right? But when we do it too much, right? When we just shut the whole world out, everybody out, your soul craves connection, right? Connection with others. It's why we're here. The most, you know, thing that we experience the most here in our life here on earth is relationships, right? We're born into family dynamics. We've got teachers, we've got friends, we have adult relationships, co-workers. It's like our whole life revolves around relationships and how to build them, how to have healthy ones, how to have ones that with healthy boundaries, ones that are respectful, ones with, you know, loyalty and honesty and clear communication and learning how to communicate with others. They're important for us. They help us to grow. They help us to evolve. I've noticed sometimes with a specific family member that avoids others. And it creates, when that family member is around people, there's an awkwardness. There is a not knowing how to function, how to maintain or build relationships with others. So sometimes it could be, like I said, where we isolate ourselves so much that we don't know how to form bonds with people. We don't know how to have friends. We don't know how to have healthy relationships, where it can be to our detriment, right? And, you know, and of course it's a personal choice. Some of you might feel like, okay, my life is so much better off without anybody in it, and I'm enjoying my me time. And that's, you know, if that's working for you right now. But for those of you that feel like we want to have, you know, that connection with other people, but then we have that tendency to isolate and to be too afraid of connection, that's where we might be needing to focus on feeling more secure within the self, more confident, and believing that what you have and what you have to share, and that you are valuable. Okay? Like I said, we're all on different paths. We all have very different experiences. But there's always something from those experiences that we have to share that can be literal gold to another person who could be going through what you went through years ago. And your wisdom, your voice, your story, your actions that you take, right? The way that you choose to live your life now can be so much more of an empowered energy, that your energy naturally might be something that's very inspiring to other people. Okay? Especially for those of you that have come from nothing, dealing with poverty, dealing with not having a home, dealing with, Five of Pentacles is about a lack of resources, not having food, not having money, not having shelter, not having any of those needs. Okay? Going through the struggle, debt, dealing with loss, dealing with issues with health, many different ways in which life can impact us in a negative way. We all go through things, right? Some things in our life can be very powerful and positive, and we all have those times in our life where we all go through a lot of darkness. So let's see here. We've got the Five of Pentacles, the Hanged Man. We have the Ten of Wands, and we have the Knight of Cups. We have the Queen of Wands, very empowered energy. And then we have the King of Swords. Okay, I do want to see why this Five of Pentacles is here, but I am seeing the Ace of Swords at the bottom. The Ace of Swords is about clarity. It can be about some kind of epiphany, realization, some type of breakthrough. The Ten of Wands can be when we are dealing with a lot of stress, a lot of feeling very overwhelmed, burdened, tired, drained, exhausted, having gone through a lot energetically. The Hanged Man being here is also about letting go. It's about surrender. It's about release. It's about a change of perspective. So I want to look at this Five of Pentacles, and it looks like there's a maze there. Five of Pentacles, the Death card. The Hermit. Okay, so this is something right now, because with this Five of Pentacles being here, it feels like this is something that is within your energy field that Spirit is trying to get your attention with, about transforming this, healing this. Okay, the Five of Pentacles, like I said, it could literally be that we've got scarcity mindset, poverty consciousness. It's a feeling of lack, a feeling of despair. It can talk about emptiness, void, isolation, an emptiness that we feel. It can also be about abandonment, about rejection, feeling shut out by others. We might even have that feeling of like not fitting in. Okay. Let's get one more. Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. With this Knight of Swords and the Page of Pentacles energy, I feel like this is kind of like stepping into a new energy. This is doing something different. This might even go into self-worth issues, self-esteem issues, not feeling worthy of abundance, of love, of anything else that you might feel like you're lacking or missing within the self, within your life. And the Page of Pentacles is about beginning something new. It's making a new investment into something. And I feel like this is within the self. For some of you, it might even be working on a project. Okay. I think I want to look at this Queen of Wands here. Some of you, there is a need for putting yourself out there. We've got the Page of Swords here. Temperance, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. We've also got air sign energy here, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. There is the High Priestess. I'm seeing strength at the bottom here. Okay, so a lot of solar plexus energy, okay, where I'm getting from not only the Strength card, but the Spirits of Fire and that Queen of Wands. So with the Strength card here, you know, and I'm seeing the Devil is right underneath that, which is the dark veil in this deck, and the Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords. This is a lot of fears, a lot of anxiety. Some of you might want to do something like that. This might even be about your voice, okay? The King of Swords can, you know, certainly be that there's something that you're meant to write, something that you're meant to share. It could be your story. It could be public speaking. The King of Swords is a symbol of higher consciousness. So this could even be, like I said, many of you have a lot of wisdom already, a lot of knowledge, and it could be something that you're meant to use your voice in some way to lead others, guide others, inspire others. The Stone of Destiny. And the star is at the bottom as I say that, which is also about destiny. You know, the King of Swords can even be a teacher. There may be some fears that you have. If you're someone who has... I was just talking about this the other day too, and I think it was another pick a card that I was doing. If you're someone who has imposter syndrome, or I want to say needing to work on your identity, your sense of self, being more confident in who you are. And like I said earlier, believing that there is something valuable that you hold within you. Some of you are born with gifts, right? We've got sensitive gifts here. Hold the light. I remember ancient memories in Lemuria. Some of you might even have ties to Lemuria. So I feel like I want to get a little bit more on that. I know it's general reading, but I want to look at it anyway because I want to see what Spirit has to say about what this Stone of Destiny is for you. Spirit's telling me to grab another deck, so we're going to do that. What is this Stone of Destiny here? Ten of Wands, Knight of Wands, Two of Cups, Six of Wands. Okay, so you, group 3, you're meant to be, there's the Six of Wands is going to be about public recognition, being in the spotlight, being seen, being noticed, being famous. And I feel like with the Two of Cups being here, this could be the way in which you connect or interact with other people. Okay. Some of you might resonate with the term light worker. Okay. Starseed, healers, intuitives. I feel like this is kind of like the the catch-all pile here, with this kind of work. So this may more or less be about, okay, this is something that you're meant to do here. Okay, something that you're meant to do. Hold your light, right? Hold the light. And this is putting yourself out there. No more isolation. Especially if you're feeling the call to that path, that work. Because you're meant to work with collective, right? You can't do that if you're at home by yourself. You know what I mean? You've got to get out there. You've got to network. You've got to collaborate. You've got to let yourself journey. Maybe this is even traveling. If you're feeling called to a specific place in the world, maybe to a retreat, maybe to, some kind of workshop, that they might have. I know that they have lots of things in some really beautiful destinations. And if you're someone who already has the skills, right? You already have the knowledge. There's a need for overcoming the fears surrounding being able to do this. Okay? The Strength card is about overcoming fears. It's about being brave, confident, courageous. Your fear could be something that's holding you back here. Some of you are meant to work with women, specifically. Women, children, empowering women, retreats with women, healing feminine energy, Six of Cups, sharing gifts with others, healing others, if that's what you feel called to do. If you're someone who's wanted to open some kind of an establishment, some type of wellness center, healing center, retreat, this is the calling, okay? This is the calling. I'm going to look at this Spirits of Fire here. This is the Divine Muses Oracle. I'm sorry if you guys can hear the men outside. They're the maintenance guys. Spirits of Fire. Air. This is going to take forever to find this. Water. Where is it at? Home. Solar Feminine. All right, I guess we have to use the table of contents. So we've got Spirits of Fire, 167. The salamander, elemental and guardian of fire. The spirits of fire card kindles passion, innovation, and growth. It is the expression of the elemental spirit of fire, which is vital, energetically creative, and transformative. We can see fire in people when they express courage, enthusiasm, optimism, and are bursting with energy that is contagious. In Western mystical and magical traditions, fire is associated with the direction south and the colors orange and red. Its corresponding season is summer, and time is the noonday sun, representing warmth, vitality, and energy. The fire element shows a flourishing and thriving energy. It is considered one of the great purifiers due to its power of transmutation, which is why it is often connected to the realm of the spirit. The salamander is the elemental of fire and the mystical guardian of the tarot suit of wands. If this card has been drawn, consider the spiritual realm, the domain of wands. In it, we see the world of pure ideas, reflecting inspiration, passion, energy, creativity, action, growth, movement, and innovation. We, as witches or magicians, have tools we can use in our personal practice and altars to personify fire using candles, magic, wands, or any light source such as a lamp or a lantern. One can also make contact with the divine through fire gazing, which is a popular form of divination called pyromancy. Fire is a big part of spiritual work and an important aspect of any altar or ritual. Okay, so I'm not going to read this whole thing, but those of you that are interested, more information there for you all. I'm just going to kind of hold it open. You can take a screenshot and go back and read it later if you want. Okay, so like I said, I kind of feel with us starting off with that Five of Pentacles there, with clarified by the Death card. The Death card is about bringing something to an end. It's about changing something, transforming something. Perhaps this is the way that you're thinking. Your ideas about maybe not being enough, or I don't have enough, or what I have is not valuable. Maybe it's not worth sharing. Maybe I just shouldn't. And Spirit's like, it's your destiny. It's your destiny. It's what you're here to do. Hold the light. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave this here for you. Group number 3. I do hope this reading was helpful for you all, and I will see you in the next one.